I will say, like, there were a lot of people during the auditions, I think, for Invaders that, like, you can kind of, I think you can kind of, like, tell that they don't really watch as much, but they're like, they just want to get in.
They want the boost.
Yeah, they want the clout. And like Sakana can smell those people from a mile away. So like if you're ever thinking of auditioning for VTuber companies like that, just let it be known that, like, you know, we know. Managers,
you do have to
yeah.
like actually be a fan of the company. That would definitely help.
You actually need to know like the
culture,
right? Like tourists
actually,
get the boot.
I actually have a funny story about that.
Yeah.
So back when Sakana and I were just like still in the sort of like negotiating phase and talking phase, he was just like, oh yeah, can we meet up for like a chat? And so he calls me up, and then I'm just thinking he's gonna, like, you know, tell me about, like, I don't know, some admin stuff about the company, right? And he spends the next 4 hours just yapping his head off about like everything. And
Yeah.
bearing in mind, I hadn't signed a single NDA at this point. And Sakana is just like telling me all like the ins and outs of the company, and I'm like, I haven't actually signed any contracts, right?
Yeah, he's got he has a mouth on him. I will
The
say
man
that.
loves to yap.
He loves to
just
gossip,
chat.
dude. He's like,
He
he's
does.
literally
He's a
like a
woman.
fucking yeah, like a high school girl. Like,
He is.
I think
He
the first
loves- he
time I
loves to
met
gossip.
him as well, this was in person. So the first time I met him, I was in Canada, and I think at first we were just going to meet for, you know, he wanted to show me the coffee, you know, the new samples for Gen 2, and have me sign some stuff for cons, and I thought that'd be it. So I just like I went. It ended up being like a multiple hour ordeal of just like him shooting the shit for like hours on end, and I was like, dude, I need to go back home for dinner. Like I was honestly really nervous about it because I won't go into too much detail, but right around then I had just got in trouble with him for some other stuff. I did an oopsie. I did an oopsie.
Can you tell me what it is afterwards?
I'll tell you what it is after. It's nothing too bad, but like it was enough for him to take like a serious tone instead of just going like, hey man, don't do that, yo. Right? And I was so worried that, like, you know, it was gonna be super awkward, or worse, he was going to continue yelling at me. And then we sit down, not even talking about anything phase related yet. And then he's like, did you hear about this? And starts like spilling tea on like everything. And I was like, sitting.
Can confirm.
Yeah,
he
sitting
does
on
that.
the edge of my seat with my hands folded on my lap, stiff as a board. The punishment was
done the
just
thing-
gossip. Yeah.
Has he done the thing for you guys where he'll just randomly join meetings
Yes.
and start complaining about things?
Yes. Most of the time, he doesn't actually show up for meetings. I think he's either he's either traveling or just did not bother to show up. But
Yeah, sometimes he joins into the meetings.
yeah, it's like in the
his
middle.
car. He's like in his car driving, and I think that's a crime.
I mean, nowadays
Isn't driving whilst
you're not
distracted?
holding the phone like to your ear, right? Like it's like
I
built into the
guess.
car system and shit, right?
Maybe. I hope so.
Yeah, hands free is it should be fine, right? He does text while driving though, a lot of time.
I've heard his driving is scary.
He does kind of step on it like sometimes. There was another time, I think around the same time I met him for the first time, that he wanted to bring me to this Chinese Peking duck place, and I went
Okay.
with the assumption that, like, you know, it's like in the same city or like in the general area of like where we met last time. And we had to drive there, so I got into his car, which is, by the way, it's such a stupid like flashy car.
Can imagine. He
Yeah,
has a stupid flashy
it's so
car.
stupidly like obnoxious. It's the kind
Like
it's the
tech
kind that
bro.
makes like a vroom when you speed past people on the highway.
It does. Of course it does.
Yeah, I don't know shit about cars, but like even I can tell it's like pretentious as fuck.
It's like the person. It's like you see it driving past you, and you're like, that person.
This fucking cunt, man.
compensating
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah. Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.